Found, Part 5. Tabitha's body was on the floor of her apartment, but her mind flew back to the time she met her ex. She had been a fresh co-ed, naive, but smart enough to know it. He had been a maintenance crew member who worked by doing odd jobs around campus. 10 years her senior, Mitch seemed wise of the world, a world that Tabitha was just beginning to explore. They had noticed each other as she walked by him, hurrying to a class she was late for. He stopped his leaf blower and moved out of her way. His full beard hid his scarred face, but his green eyes glowed as they tracked her movements. Tabitha felt him staring and turned around to glance back. He was generally unremarkable, but something stirred inside of her that she never even knew was there. Later that night, he seemed to be taking extra care to trim the bushes lining the entry to Tabitha's dorm. He paused again in his work, but this time raised his hand briefly and gave a short, "Hey," in greeting. Tabitha had been thinking about the paper she needed to write that evening, so only smiled briefly and said hi back in politeness. Undeterred, he replied, "I'm Mitch. What's your name?" Startled, Tabitha dropped her keys on the ground. "Tabitha!" she threw over her shoulder as she scooped them up and unlocked the building door. Tabitha. She heard him practice saying her name. At the time, she felt flattered at this very masculine man's attention, but on reflection, she could hear the possessiveness in the way he said her name. She raced up the stairs, and when she got into her room, gave a quick greeting to her sleepy roommate, and then went to the window and peered out. Yes, he was down there watching, looking to see which room was hers. He noticed her pulling the curtain and seemed to light up with excitement and raised his hand in a brief wave. Tabitha unconsciously waved back. Was she finally going to have some romance in her life? She wondered. As the weeks went by, Mitch showed up more and more in Tabitha's path. She felt flattered and began to wonder if unseen forces were pulling them together. But what she didn't know was that she was a target. Her youthfulness and naivety was like a magnet, attracting situations and people that were drawn to her to take them from her. Mitch asked her out on a date, so they went to dinner. It was a strange affair, with him constantly scanning the room as if looking for hidden danger, and the conversation flowed weirdly, where Tabitha felt at a loss for words at times, and almost as if she had to protect him. Is this what love is supposed to feel like? She wondered to herself.